How do I tell which Wi-Fi protocols my computer supports? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Question. I don't know if my Wi-Fi card is 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. So my first question is, how do I find out which I have? If you're having trouble connecting to a Wi-Fi hotspot, open and public or otherwise, it could be a mismatch between the capabilities of your Wi-Fi hardware and the hotspot providing the wireless networking. To do this, we need to figure out which protocols, that whole 802.11 thing, that your card is capable of. Once we have that information, we can start making a few assumptions. Fortunately, your card's capabilities are easily discovered. So, this is actually one of my real machines. It's actually a machine I've got in the credenza behind me, but it's connected via Wi-Fi. So we have the opportunity to do all of the things that I want to show you. We're going to start by firing up a command prompt. And what we'll type in is netsh, or short for netshell, wlan, or wide area network LAN, I think, show drivers. So we can see that there's a bunch of information that just popped out. What we care about is a line that says radio types supported. You can see it's right here near the top. And it has a list of 802.11 protocols. In this case, it supports 802.11n, G, B, AX, AC, N again, A again. 802.11 is a formal standard for the wireless protocol used by what you and I typically call Wi-Fi. It defines the signals, the frequencies, and a bunch of other characteristics about how wireless devices communicate with one another. Originally released in 1997, there have been and continue to be revisions to the protocol. Here's a table that has everything listed with the Wi-Fi generation. You'll often hear things like Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, or whatever. The actual 802.11 standard that defines it, the year it was introduced, and then the speed, the range of speed that that particular protocol can support. The other thing that's interesting, of course, is the column that shows you the frequencies. Not all protocols work on all frequencies. However, some protocols work on multiple frequencies. As you can tell, it gets kind of complicated. Each generation of the protocol differs in its range of transmission speeds and the frequencies over which it might be used. The rows you've seen highlighted in this table correspond to the radio types supported in an earlier example. My laptop, which is what I generated that table from, not the machine we're looking at, can use 802.11b, G, N, A, AC, and AX protocols. Great. But what am I actually using? All right. Now we'll go over to settings. And in network and internet, you'll find at least one clue, and that's right here. I've got this properties that shows that I'm on a private network, but that it's at 5 gigahertz. That tells us that indeed we're running at 5 gigahertz, but it doesn't tell me which of the 802.11 protocols are in use. So we'll actually click on properties. It doesn't look like it's clickable, but as it turns out, it is. Now we can see, we scroll down here a little bit, that the protocol in use is, in this case, 802.11ac, along with a bunch of other information about this connection. 802.11ac is the one in use, which is often referred to as Wi-Fi 5. The original question was submitted by an individual whose Wi-Fi was having problems aboard a cruise ship. He was told that his device probably didn't support something called DFS, or Dynamic Frequency Selection. This is another formal specification. It's 802.11h, dealing with interference when using the 5 gigahertz frequency. There are other devices that use certain frequencies in the 5 gigahertz range, including ship's radar. On a cruise ship, you don't want your Wi-Fi signal to interfere with the radar. DFS is a protocol addition that allows your Wi-Fi device to sidestep possible interference. So it makes sense that your cruise ship might require your device to support DFS. Determining whether or not your specific device supports it is a little unclear. The rule of thumb seems to be that any device supporting 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi made after 2019 very likely supports DFS. Prior to that, things get iffy. So most of what I've talked about is honestly, it's completely transparent in normal use. Your laptop will generally note what your local router or Wi-Fi access point makes available, and then use the option best suited to the situation. But if you're curious about what your device's capabilities are and what choices were made when connecting, now you've got a chance to peek under the hood. For comments, for updates, for links related to the topic and more, visit askleo.com/190015. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.